Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on the video. This is a review for Good Girls Season 4, Episode 11. Like, my voice is shot. Shot. I feel like I've been fussing at the little one, Eden, all day. She the reason why I be having a hoarse voice, because I be around here. Cut it out! Stop that! Leave that alone! Don't do that! Get off of that! Every day, all day, this child here. Whew. They said it would be the boy children giving you these blues. Nah, it's them little girls. Them little girls will give you the blues as well. This is my second time sitting here to record episode 11. I recorded it, saved it, all of that, and now where it's at. So we're gonna just do it one more time. So that's why we don't even have a fresh lip gloss anymore. I was about to come back on here without my earrings. Like, I had completely transformed into, homely. Anyway, the ladies are in Canada at the casino, and Annie keeps winning at the craps table. The goal was to go in there and lose it all. So Annie keeps winning, and she keeps hitting sevens. Ruby, she takes the dice and she rolls it. She wins again. The crowd is happy, of course, but they're not. Then we go to a few days earlier, and the girls are at a private party, like counting up, their money that they've got, for the bags and, from the dancers or whatever. And they're discussing, how they're going to cross the border. And Annie's idea is to send it over with the pigeons. She is just always so outlandish. But Beth thinks, okay, what about a drone? They sell them in Hobby Lobby. Ruby is like, cool, let's go tomorrow. Annie says, I can't go tomorrow. I got something to do. And, they all like, girl, what you got to do besides print and drop this money? What you got to do? And she says she going on a yacht. She got a yacht boat party situation she's going to for a friend who just got out of rehab. And Annie's like, not Annie. Beth is like, a boat? So you're going to be on a boat on the border. You don't have to go through customs. Everybody going to be drunk, so they ain't even really paying attention. A boat on the border, you say. And Annie's like, I see where you're going. I see where you're driving at. Okay, we can make that happen. Stan walks in as they're talking, and he's like, oh, where we going? What boat ride? Where we sailing to? What we doing? And, Beth is like, oh, just a little self-care situation. Nothing major, a girl's day trip. And they trying to convince him or whatever. And he's like, does this little day trip involve my wife getting another bullet in her knee? Stan, I'm going to need you to cut the shit. Now, it ain't nobody's fault but Ruby that you and your family are involved in the crime stuff, because nobody told Ruby that she had to do it. Nobody told Ruby, you know what, Ruby, you got a gun to your head. You better rob this store. Nobody did that. Nobody did that. This was a joint effort. Everybody is consenting. Everybody is a consenting adult. What you're not going to do is continue to hold over Beth's head, the consequences of said actions. It's not nobody's fault. Ruby is responsible for Ruby. So why he continues to put it all on Beth like it's her fault, like she's just pulling the strings and they're puppets. No, Ruby want to be robbing banks and stores. She want the fast, quick money too, because everybody needs it. I'm sick of Stan. Like, I'm really sick of him. Anyway, they assure him it's just a day trip, and he says, okay, whatever. He just retreats. Annie gets home, and Kevin has cooked dinner. Set the table and all. Like, it's a nice little romantic dinner. It's just the two of them. Ben is, with his dad. They sit down, and, he starts, giving her a little taste of this and that. And she's enjoying it, for what it is, until she finds out that it's, he rummaged through the trash at Kroger to get it. He trying to teach a lesson in you don't need money, to live a good life. And that's a lie. Sir, you were living out your car until they repossessed that. Nobody wants to live like that. Nobody wants to dumpster dive for their food. No. you do need money to buy food. That, like, if anything, you're gonna be buying food. Like you can't shortcut that unless you got a farm in your backyard, unless you got produce growing in your backyard, unless you got chickens, laying eggs, unless you got chickens that you can use to cook, unless you have a whole farm in your backyard, you gonna have to buy your food, Mr. Kevin. Of course she gets upset about it, like choose him out. Like, don't nobody want no fucking trash. I ain't trying to get sick. Ain't trying to get salmonella because you done picked this up out of the dumpster. No, thank you. Dean, he's working on his bike, and then Jim Jones and his friend come rolling by. And the friend is a lawyer, so he's offered to take on Dean's case. He's like, listen, that bitch has done enough. We're going to take her to the cleaners. He don't, of course he's playing coy, Beth is my wife, can't do that. Beth comes outside though to bring waters. And of course she walked into a situation, and you already know, like when you walk into a room and the people have been talking about you, it's just the aura over everybody. Everybody looking like, can you leave so we can, continue our conversation, so we can continue bashing your ass, please? Poor Beth. She don't even know what's about to hit her. These people plotting and scheming behind your back. And I don't like that these men do that. Like, I know women do that as well. Women, if you in a bad situation and you would have, you're married to a man that may be abusive or something like that, and you have to get out, you will have to plot and scheme with your friends to get you out safely. But when men who feel like, oh, I'm trying to get her, for what she got, or I'm trying to take her down, or, like it's a whole bunch of malicious intent behind, you wanting to take somebody to court or whatever. Like, Dean, you talking to these men and, filling their heads with all of this Beth hate. And so now they on your side and they think, nah, she the one need the house arrest. She the one need to be going to jail, not you. And it's like, first of all, Dean, you already knew what it was. So as the father, as the man of the house, you should go down for it. You should take that one for your wife, okay? Don't do that. I don't like that he's really like, scheming with his men. It made me think about that Betty Broderick story when this is completely off topic, but it made me think about that because her husband did the exact same thing, got with his lawyer friends and his judge friends, and they really walked him through how he could protect himself. My little light falling. How he could protect himself and leave her with nothing. It's like, y'all really getting together to plan that type of shit? Yes, they are. Yes, those white men. Yes, they are. I done forgot my place. Sorry, guys. Oh, okay. So he's going to represent him free of charge. And Beth, Ruby, and Annie, they're in the car. And they have their cooler full of the counterfeit money. They're waiting on Annie's friends so they can get on the boat. And instead, a police officer pulls up. And when he gets out the car, and comes to the door, Ruby recognizes him like, Benny, is that you? Hey, how your kids? How's your wife? He's like, okay, so what's in the cooler? Excuse me, do you have a warrant to be asking me what's in my cooler in my car? Ice, that's what's in the cooler. A cool drink, that's what's in the cooler. Asking me what the fuck is in my damn cooler. He pissed me off with that because you ain't got no warrant, sir. You ain't got no probable cause. You just rolling up on a parked car talking about what's in the cooler. Don't worry about it. Come back with your warrant and then I'll show you what's in the cooler. Asshole. We should have already knew when the cops pulled up, and already knew who to look for and all of that and what to look for, that they were sent by Stan. Tackhead ass. Ruby gets home, after that, and she's like, so you just gonna sick your boys on me? That's what we doing? And he's sitting on the cooler. He got the cooler now. He's sitting on the cooler basically holding it hostage. You ain't doing that. We not doing that plan. We not doing it that way. It's always Beth is trying to drag you down. Beth this, Beth that. Whole time Ruby making her own damn choices. Them her choices. And you want to hold Beth accountable for Ruby's bad choices. Make it make sense, Stanley. Make it make sense. So he ain't gonna give him the cooler. She like, I need that damn. I would have hit him over the head. I thought she was gonna get that desperate and just hit him upside the head, you know, knock him out, take her cooler and go. That's what she should have did. Beth, we see she's meeting with Councilman Brother Cousin. And, you know, she asked him for a favor because that police officer then gave her a trespassing ticket. And she, you know, tells him what it is, but, you know, she can't really go to a judge and tell him, well, you know, what the deal is. And he's like, well, I normally don't get involved in Rio's dealings. You know, I normally don't do all of that. And, you know, she's just like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. Forget I asked. And she's about to leave. And he just says, you know what? I'll do it. But you got to do something for me. I'm going to put you to work. Annie gets home and Kevin decides, you know, to take her dumpster diving. He gonna show her what it is. And so they go to this fancy restaurant and they go dumpster diving. And, you know, he pulls out things that have been thrown away but maybe not be open, may not be open. It's still in the damn dumpster. So nastiness. But I guess he's showing her, you know, you would have never known. Like, if I had just got this and brought it in this to-go container, you wouldn't have known that I didn't pay for it. You wouldn't have known that it might have sat in the trash for a couple of, you know, for maybe 20 to 30 minutes. You wouldn't have known that. It's still nasty, Kevin. Still very gross. They having a good time or whatever, and he's having such a good time. He just leaned in and stole a kiss. Of course, you know, Annie, this is too much. Too good to be true. We're not doing this. She don't want to muddy the waters. And, you know, he's like, cool. I ain't mean to make you uncomfortable or nothing, but cool. They roommates, and that's all she wants. Just a roommate. Beth, Ruby, and Annie are basically begging for their money back from Stan. They throwing out all of these different ideas on how they can effectively get the money over the border without getting caught. He's shooting down all of the ideas, and Beth is like, why we gotta listen to you anyway? Why are you in charge? Like, since when did you become in charge of our little operation? And he say, I got you in the strip club, the bag business, that's mine. And that's my wife. Beth should have told him, you and her can skate. Because I done had about enough of your shit. You and her can get out, okay? We don't need you. Don't need you. Me and Annie, we got it. Me, Annie, and Rio, we got it. We don't need Ruby. If it's got to be all this, we don't need it. Because Stan done become the extra good girl, and I'm sick of it. Anyway, he tells them, you know, that they're going to need the dancers that are in there. They're going to use them. They're in there dancing with 2 officers who happen to be the border control bounty. The border patrol. And so that's how they gonna get in. Beth and the girls, they get to the border. And, you know, they spark up conversation with the guy from the party. You know, ask him, do you know Crystal? What's her name again? Oh, yeah. You know her? She's a great dancer. You know, we saw her in your Insta story. No, we saw you in her Insta story. And he's like, oh. Yeah, tell your wife to come on out. You know, I'm sure she'd love it. You know, basically, they telling him, we know who you are. We know you be out here at the private parties with the strippers. The stripper that's in the car back there in the BMW. Yeah, her. Remember her? And he like, how y'all know them? Oh, we met at yoga. So can we go on through? And he's like, yeah, going on through. But stop over there, park over there, pull on over so we can look in the trunk. And Beth is like, oh, but there's nothing in it. Okay, so it shouldn't take long. Pull on over. They pull on over there. And he lets the dancers and the girls in the car behind them, he lets them, you know, drive on through without stopping. So they meet up to, you know, get the cooler so they can make their drop. And the girl is like, one of the dancers is like, she want 5%. So you just gonna shake, you gonna do a whole shakedown. Girl, if you don't get your ass on, I would have gave her little 5% of the counterfeit money. Just stupid. Let her spend that counterfeit money and just get locked up for it. No, because she'll be talking. She'll be talking. Ruby, on the other hand, she notices a suspicious silver SUV, lurked in the corner a little bit. It's suspicious. She don't know. Dean, he's meeting with Jim Jones and his new lawyer. They're both telling Dean he need to turn on Beth, and he's like, I can't do that. I can't do it. They like, wake up. You need to wake up and smell the coffee. He's like, that's my wife, the mother of my kids. My kids need their mother. Like, I can't do it. And then Jim Jones gonna flip it. So, who helped your son learn how to ride a bike? So, you only gonna focus in on what Dean has done for the son, which is what father-son, that's what the dynamic is, sir. He ain't did no carpooling. He ain't made no lunches. He ain't cleaned no house hardly. He ain't done none of the household chores or duties that most mothers have to do. So don't throw out he helped somebody ride a bike. So can what? So what? Dean was cheating on that woman for years. Right up under her nose. Right up under her nose. Sis get a little bit of, her oomph back and decides, I done got sick of this mundane, boring ass life. I'm finna go rob a store. That's fun. I'm finna go steal some money. That's fun. Then come to find out she stole from a drug dealer, and then they got to get in cahoots with him. He foreign and all. Y'all can't be mad at Beth. Y'all cannot be mad at Beth. But anyway, they telling him, that he needs to turn on her. He's refusing, but they trying to make their case. They trying to really convince him to throw her under the bus. Beth and the girls are driving around aimlessly trying to find, where Stan is, has them going. And the thieving dancers done made Beth mad. She mad at Stan. She mad at them dancers. She just mad and annoyed. The GPS got her going every which way, and he hardly paying attention. You know when you in that passenger seat. Excuse me again. That's them tacos. When you in that passenger seat. You got to be paying attention to the GPS because I'm driving. I'm looking at the street. I can't keep looking down trying to check when I'm supposed to turn left. You sitting there, you supposed to be paying attention. And Beth can't get her to, get the directions fast enough. So they get lost. Then Annie, looking in her rear view, notices, also Beth and Ruby kind of have a little, not a spat, but it's kind of like, I feel a little tension. I feel like you don't like my man. I feel like you got a little issue with my husband. That's Ruby. And Beth is like, bitch, fuck your man. That's where I'm at with it. You damn right. It's Stan. That's what it is, friend. Sorry. You keep defending his ass too, and he ain't helped nothing. He ain't made nothing easy. Stan has been a problem. He has been a thorn in my ass, okay? Annie, looking in the mirror, she notices that silver SUV has been following them, and Ruby turns around like, oh, that's the one. That's the same place. That's the one. So they panicking. And they decide, that they're going to try to leave them. They're going to try to lose them, And so, they driving around in the parking lot. Skirt. It's like, it's all it is. It's all it is. Beth doing her defense driving. And they finally, pull into this parking lot and pull into this parking space and try to, get down in their seat and hide. And Beth is just like, you know what? Take all the money, y'all split it up. And so they take it all out of the cooler and split it up, and they put, stuffing it in their clothes or whatever. And she's like, we got to lose all of this. And they end up at the casino. And so this is why they were at the casino, and this is why they wanted to lose the money. Because that's the goal. That's the objective. Let's go in here. We're going to go to the craps table, and we're going to lose it all. But they get over there to the craps table and start winning. Whole lucky streak. They don't want it all. Dean calls, and it's an emergency. Their son was, he had an accident. He hurt himself, and Dean can't go get him, because he's on house arrest. Beth is like, well, it's going to be a while, but I'm coming. Dean like, where you at? What you doing? Why it's going to take so long? And she's like, well, I'm kind of out of the country. Dean like, you know what? Next time, just lie. And he hung up on her. Dean, more and more, she just chipping away at Dean. She chipping away at his patience. Beth goes back out there though. When she gets off the phone, goes to the crap table, and she's like, "Put it all on two." And the man is like, "All of it? I mean, don't you want to, split it up a little bit? Put it all on two. Thank you very much." And so she rolls and loses it all, and she's like, "Shit, 2002." Ruby like, "Damn, sis, really like that?" Annie don't get the reference. That's her wedding date. I mean, listen, at that point, that solidified it for me. Dean and Beth are no more. No more. Beth gets home and Dean tells her, that she's watching over her son, and Dean, peeks his head in there talking about some, "Oh, he ain't asked for you at all. He ain't asked for you not once." What was that to say? Beth says she gonna go out to the grocery store and get him some, get some ingredients to make the baby some French toast in the morning. Annie gets home to a hot meal that was actually purchased. He apologizes for kissing her and possibly, making it weird. And, she's just like, all is well, all is good. He got a plate for Beth, and he has a plate. I mean, not Beth. He has a plate for Annie, and he has a plate for Ben. Nothing for himself. They're like, "You're not going to eat nothing?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm going out tonight." Then there's a knock at the door, and it's the hostess from the fancy restaurant that he took Annie dumpster diving. Apparently, she done been dumpster diving with him before, so she's ready. She's like, "Let's hurry up before, all the food is gone for the trash man come. Let's hurry up." So both of y'all nasty. Annie's sitting there looking cheap, though, because she feeling like, "Oh, nah, girl. You said you just wanted a roommate, so that's what he's giving. Roommate." Ruby gets home and, she demands answers. What was said to my friend? Because I can sense the tension. So what was said? What was said? And, he's like, at first he tries to make it seem like it's something that they agreed on. But no, he has to flat out say, "Well, we made a deal. Well, I made a deal with her. Like, I basically gave her an ultimatum. She either leave you alone or, And Ruby just breaks down crying, and it made me sad, because it's like, don't do that. Don't come between that lady and her best friend. Don't do that. Don't make it seem like Beth is the worst influence in the world. Like, cause Ruby even said, "I'm not your daughter. Like, I'm not your child. you don't like, I'm not a troubled teen. You don't get to dictate who I'm friends with, who I'm not friends with. You don't get to do that." That I'm sure that really hurt Ruby, because Ruby was crying. Beth gets her car. She gets to the car after grocery shopping. She in the parking garage. She sees Rio's Jeep over there in the cut. And she should have known he wasn't sitting in the Jeep. He's sitting in her car. She get in the car, he in the back seat. Hey now. And he tells her, the people following her were his people. They don't like to make a scene, no. And he's like, "Me, not so much. I don't mind so much." And she's like, "Well, I mean, somebody might mind." And he was like, "Somebody? You got a guardian angel I don't know about?" And she looks around, and then she's like, "Maybe." Then we see her working closely with Councilman brother cousin. So that's who her little guardian angel is, I guess. I mean, they're going to be working closely together. Maybe she thinks that he's going to somehow be of some help. Girl, that's the boss. That's who you work for, not Rio. You work for brother cousin. Councilman brother cousin is in charge of all of this. He's running the show, and she don't even know. I feel like he's about to flip it on her. I'm sure he knows, what's been going on, with she and Rio, and all of this mess with the Canadian money and all of that. I know he know it all. So you think you got a friend, girl. You don't. Is that it? Let me see. Nope, that's not it. Dean. This is where we end. Dean. He's sitting in the office with his lawyer, and he got this, real look on. He got this real crazy look on his face. He's kind of puzzled, and he looks, a little downtrodden, relieved a little bit. He just confused. Confusion is all I can give it. Confusion. And he just tells the guy, "And I'm cool. I just woke up." So he ready to throw Beth under the bus. All right, Dean. All right. We done let you live and everything. Beth could have killed your ass in season 1. When Rio had him hostage and had the gun to him. When he gave Beth the gun to kill her own husband. She could have did it then. But you let his little sorry ass live. And now he finna throw you under the bus. He done told all them people down to the cult what y'all been up to. So now everybody know y'all business. Dean is a liability that has to go. Stan is a liability that has to go. Damn it. I done got upset. Anyway, that was it. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.